Hello, and welcome back once again to Epic and Friends Final Fantasy XIV Pathfinder. Today, after a number of personal issues, we are down a Rowan. I myself am feeling a bit under the weather, along with several other members of our cast. Worksend had to work late, so if he joins us at all, it will be at a later time. However, our intrepid band of adventurers, after managing to cross their way through the steppe, back into Hinagashi proper, breaking through a Garlean line, riding upon a giant mutated skull, and eating the sun, have found themselves in Limsa, having traveled to Eorzea, reporting their doings to Ajeliton and Rowan's parents, and for the most part, just causing the general havoc that comes with being the agents of mayhem. As we reopen, Dequestart walks out onto the gangplank of Limsa docks, finding yourselves once more in the familiar setting, as does Yedrin Hunt, Kato, Fionn, Orksund, and Rowan's Darksbane, along with their three temporary companions of Camilla Markov, Azir, and Ia. As they step out onto this gangplank, the early morning sun... I don't know how to pronounce it, Fio. Don't make fun of me. Anyway. Our party steps out into the bright winter, bright early autumn sun, the sounds of gulls surrounding him and the busy commerce of the market buzzing through their ears, the lapping of waves against the docks and the various shorelines, be they proper or from the jutting stone concourses of the Leminson structure, are suddenly met with a vaguely familiar voice shouting out to Tart, saying, Lady DeQuest, it's been so long."
Huh? She goes, turns to look where the voice was coming from.
Would you like to roll a perception?
Yeah, one second. I also need to whip out my note.
Dak, as you turn your head and whip it around towards the sound of the voice, you see a young-ish woman, probably about 23 by the look of her, running up towards you in a off-white healer's attire, wearing a big poofy hat with red lines coming off of it. Very similar to the Black Mage hat that you've seen all too often in Ul'dah. And as she runs up, you see long black hair kind of streaking behind her, a cute-ish heart-shaped face, slightly sunken, panda-ringed eyes of green, and a rather bright, if somewhat timid smile as she runs up and just kind of waves and kind of clasps her hands together and goes, "Hello."
Oh my god, it's Ida, isn't it? Sorry, that was my first thought.
Yes, it is.
Yay! Got it right! Hello, Hida. Hida. Ida, not Yida. That's a different word. That's a different person.
It's actually Edda.
Edda? Yes, Edda. Fuck. I never actually remembered how to pronounce that. Sorry, out of character. Fiona, meanwhile, goes to attune while this exchange plays out.
Kato is gonna do the same.
Oh yeah, what was your card?
Spire. So, plus 20 move speed per round.
Holy crap, do we all get that?
Yes.
I can move like a normal person.
I am doubling your speed.
Yeah, no, you literally are.
So yeah, Kato's gonna go attune as well.
Regardless.
Sorry.
Edda has clasped her hands together and kind of has moved them up. They're both together sort of in the prayer posture, but up against her chin, kind of covering most of her neck. She's it's so good to see you again. How have you been?
Been traveling. Been traveling and we went to Borneas.
Oh, how was that?
Very lucrative.
She giggles at that. And she's, well, I just having seen you, I wanted to run by and say thank you. I feel that my healing has gotten much better since we last talked.
Well, that's great. I'm glad I could be of some help.
Yeah. We're all kind of just hanging out at the tavern right now. If you want to swing by and talk to us at some point.
That might be nice. We actually had some business to do near Linsa.
Well, I wish you all luck. And she kind of waves and starts walking off. We're hoping to go out on a job pretty soon. And she kind of waves and starts walking away.
Well, I wish you luck.
Thank you. We wish you luck in whatever your endeavor is.
Just waves her goodbye and just kind of looks around for the others.
The agents probably stand there being quiet and just sort of waves.
Fiona waves after her. Nice enough folk, aren't they? Yeah. Kind of. It's nice that she actually learned some things. Although I don't know if my words were more help than what she had done for herself.
They get from an adventuring group you've run into before?
Oh, yes. We met them outside of Ulda. She was having some issues with healing her group, and they were a touch grumpy. To be putting it lightly.
It seems to at least get along well enough at all.
Yeah, well, it's gotten better, then hopefully the group dynamic's gotten a little better too. So, Kato, Fiona, you guys got attuned?
Fiona says, poor girl. Hopefully her teammates treat her better.
Okay.
Kato just gives a short nod and looks around.
Oh, good. Well,
What are you looking for, Kato?
yeah.
It's just kind of taking in the surroundings.
Well, if there's anything you want to get while we're here, now's the time.
I think I'm okay for now. I'm saving up for a little bit of something. If I'm gonna be on the front lines, gonna want some better armor.
Yeah. I mean, I saw that you bought a bunch of things in Aperneas.
I did, but I would like some better armor still. Just general principle
Yeah, I can understand that.
of not wanting to die.
I can understand that.
You just see Azir like coming out from the airship at this point. He's like looking at his arms over a few times. Like looks over, sees Fiona nodding about something. Goes, "What?"
Oh, nothing. Just agreeing that living is a good thing to keep doing. That's all.
See Azir like cock his head and think about that.
We were talking about better armor means you can actually live longer. In most.
Yes, most cases.
I'll have to see what get myself some work on some armor myself at some point. But for now, I think I have most everything I need. I might want to look into seeing if I can't get a good deal of some of these potions that I seem to not be needing in exchange for some that I might make use of. But otherwise, is there anything else we came here for besides making sure everyone had access to the Aetherite?
Camilla's like, I prefer to let my blade be my defense. And Azir turns and looks at her and he's like, might want to get some armor.
Such harsh words about her swords.
A blade will not do much against a dragon's fire.
Armor won't do much there.
Camilla, meanwhile, flashes the mithril chains under the lapel of her shirt. We've got backup. He's like, should I test that? Just like slowly
don't.
starts drawing the blade.
Not in the middle of the markets, please.
Well, you're still in the docks, so not really the markets yet.
Oh, we went.
Not in the middle of town, please.
She's just, a little spar might draw some onlookers. He like looks at her and he goes, spar?
I didn't realize we were street performers. Dock performers?
You do know that there's, around this point, you do see that like several of the dock workers are kind of like looking at you all now, like,
Maybe we should move off the docks.
Might be good.
Let them do their jobs.
you're not like disturbing them.
Just a little in the way, I'm guessing.
Not even like
Or
you're a little
they're not
away,
used to
just-
people sticking around.
They're
so
just
long.
interested to see what's going on because you have two people who are basically like getting ready to draw steel. Camilla's like holding her hands up. She's like, I'd certainly hope you aren't using live steel. He's like, do you expect me to use my fists?
Fiona decides, alright, you mummers, let's go.
I'm not sure which of those would be less deadly.
He thinks. You can see he's actually thinking hard about this.
My point exactly.
I'm sure his claws are as sharp as his blade. Shall we move?
He just kind of waves his hand. Regardless, de quoi?
Yeah.
He's like, if you need me, I'm heading to the tavern.
Alright, that's fine.
It's like, and then you suddenly just hear.
Right, taming the beast, got it.
While you're at it, Dak, roll a memory.
Memory? What am I rolling?
D20 plus your wisdom or intelligence, whichever you prefer.
Okay, so I can just click this roll.
Do you realize Azir hasn't eaten since you got on the airship?
Oh god. I have to go warn the tavern. I have to go warn the Bismarck.
Like he
Have to
basically
go
like,
warn the entire city.
He basically like he sat down on the airship and didn't eat.
That's terrifying.
he goes, alas, poor Baderon, alas, poor... What's his face? And he goes, I'm not allowed to eat at the Bismarck.
Oh no.
They, hang on. Scrolling down so I get the name right.
Fion grabs Camilla by the ear and drags her off before she draws Aesir's ire. I actually have to be right back. Sorry.
It's fine, we can wait on you. Fion, do you have any of your summons out? Or have you decided to forego them because of town? Okay. So we have Skull out at the moment. He seems pretty nonplussed by the whole situation.
Just gonna ask, does he still have the hat, or did he only almost have to give it back? I forget.
Oakburb.
So Kato, Yedrin, you two want to have a conversation to kill some dead space?
I don't know what we talk about.
Anything. Or walk off and go do something.
As you say, does Kyle have any questions? Does he have anything he wants to do? Particularly.
So you lived here a while?
I have lived here most of my life. At least the vast majority of it.
What would you recommend seeing while we're here? You know, like touristy stuff.
Okay,
You see Works just kind of like peering over Kato, like waiting for Yedrin to say something.
Okay, you know I do not have a good memory of good places today, right? I'm just gonna ask, how much of a bonus to more local do I have right now?
You live there your entire life. I'll give you a +10.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
Fiona was asking you something and...
So that would be 33.
Okay, you know the Bismarck is great. You know, like, there's a lot of ocean views that are amazing. Lots of little shops. There's the Armorers Guild, if you want to go look at that. Meanwhile, Azir kind of goes, looks at Dak, and it goes, yeah, not really allowed at the Bismarck. They caught Archula giving me food. He kind of snickers.
Oh, I'm glad she didn't. Hopefully, she didn't get too much trouble.
She still works there, doesn't she?
Yep.
Meanwhile,
That was one of the ones at the competition, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Just gives a thumbs up.
And Ninja meanwhile probably replies to Kato, well, what would you want to see? Food, sites, shops, or maybe the smithing guild?
We have... When are we going out to do our thing?
Whenever you guys are ready to.
Azir's like already walked away at this point. He's just no.
Just waves.
He's not even looking. He's not even looking back to see you waving. He's just walking away.
She knows. She knows.
You might want to give him some time to get a meal or two, or however many he's gonna need.
Roll a perception.
Who?
All of you.
Okay.
I rolled a 24.
27.
24, technically.
As you guys are kind of listening and watching him walk away, you see a stall, like you see several people on the docks just kind of like look, drop what they have, and then you see like several little like vendors that sell food along the way. They go, oh god, the bottomless stomach!
That's a name I haven't heard in a while.
We might want to take time, it seems.
I think we might have the rest of the day to ourselves.
Meanwhile, Skull's standing there. He's in his human form, but instead of like being bareheaded or like wearing a necklace or a headband or anything, like the hat has basically turned into a flat cap that he's just kind of like pulled down slightly below his eyes. He's like, I think I need a cigarette.
Oh, why is that?
Nerves.
Oh. Pats Skull's hand.
I'm just like looking down at you at this point.
Well,
I don't know why you're dull nerves. Is something wrong, dear? Asks Theo when the sense returned after leaving Camilla to sulk somewhere.
Just, Skull just goes, just this really uncomfortable feeling in the pit of the stomach. Maybe it's because I'm a dog and I'm surrounded by so much water. Maybe it's something else. I don't know.
I hope it's not the magic of the hat. I haven't had any odd sensations off of it, but who knows?
well, yeah, considering the unique situation, who knows?
Works kind of
but-
snickers and goes, Fionn. Like he just kind of like leans in, so only you all hear. It's like, Fionn, did you get him pregnant?
Oh my god, Workson.
You should just
Like,
sort of,
Just
ties.
works in his bad knee.
Just slaps him on the
Hey!
just
Just
slaps him on the knee.
Yeah, you should just sighs deeply.
Theo stares flatly at Works. Dope slaps him. Poor Works.
Well, when we're done punishing him, I guess we can head towards the shop in case, so I can exchange some potions. People can buy what they need. Maybe Skull can have some cigarettes.
Is the Arcanist Guild not near here?
Oh, that's... If I remember correctly, it should be down past the trade stalls.
It could have something to do with magic from there? Just kind of shrugs.
That's certainly true, says Fionn. Perhaps I should properly register myself there.
So start heading in that direction. You can get any shopping done on the long way. People can pick up stuff they need, and we can head that direction.
Meanwhile, Skull's like looking down at Dak, and he goes, "So I take it we're not going to be doing much visiting while we're here, right?"
I have no idea how long Azir is going to take. And I don't know about you, but I'd much rather not disturb his meal.
I'd say we probably.
I'm liable to lose a hand.
That's not what I was getting at.
Mm.
I was asking. I take it we're not going to stop by your families until we're done.
I prefer not to visit until we're done with Ark.
I think that's wise. They have
It would be smart to retrieve the lost one before you go.
They have a tendency
Talking
to
about it
derail
to the
us a
family.
bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
And they might be a little upset that you lost their brother.
I don't think there's any hard feelings there.
Damn.
Dope slap! It crosses the back of Kato's head from Skull.
Kato, she's already gone and got them to help us with the tournament. I don't think there's that much issue with it.
I've been looking for him. It's not a secret that he was lost.
There's also that.
Still makes me feel kind of garbage that you mentioned it, though.
Alright.
Skull's face palming at this point.
I was just suggesting we come back with good news.
Yeah, I would love to come back with good news.
By the way,
Oh.
did Camilla walk off with Azir, or is she still just standing there?
Fiona walked off with her to go put her somewhere to sulk, I guess.
Yeah, she dragged Cam off.
Fiona folds her arms and sighs. We will return with good news. That does bring up a point that I need to talk to you guys about.
Yes.
It's about Ark and how he fights.
Camilla, meanwhile, has returned with a meat kebab between each knuckle. I return with the best of news! I found a stall that didn't close when Azir walked by. Just like giddy, like Makote, just like with kebabs. Skull just like pulls one from her hand. You pay the dog tax.
You do have to feed the dog.
She
Passes
just
them around.
passes them around happily.
Dak actually partakes of one.
Should we... Skull meanwhile goes... Or actually, Roland goes, Dak, well, I would love to hear about all of this. Can we find somewhere to go sit? I didn't exactly... pack comfortable shoes for the airship. I'm gonna go buy a nice pair of walking shoes, but my feet are killing me.
That's fine, that's fine. I wasn't about to just discuss this out in the open like this anyway. It would not be
additionally,
smart.
I need everybody to roll perception as you're kind of like walking around.
Yep. That'd be 25.
23.
31.
And a 25 for Camilla. Fiona doesn't know shit. Fiona with a 50. So Camilla and Yedrin, as you're walking by and kind of taking your time moving down the street as you're moving in a group, the two of you notice a number of pirates eyeing you all up. Camilla just kind of sees them like, okay, we're being watched. Yedrin, you being more of a local and recognize it, it's like, Oh, we're being sized up for pleasure barges. Lovely.
Oh no. Tax oblivious. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Well, anyone below 24 is oblivious.
Well, technically I had 25, but still. Camilla flashes him a fanged grin and flicks Adun's hilt with her thumb. Intimidate 31, natural 20.
20. Camilla, you do this, and most of them kind of like look around. They see you're in a group. They quickly kind of like assess the whole situation. They just kind of like slip way back into the alleyways. Just kind of, yeah, more trouble than it's worth. Decide to. You see one of them. He looks like a young man, early 20s, a bit of stubble. Like he actually, as Camilla was watching, he gave a wink and kind of air kissed at her. Then saw that and was like, just kind of like turned around, like walked right away.
Nope. I'd like to stay intact.
Meanwhile, the rest of you, with the exception of Fionn,
Camilla snickers.
with the exception of Fionn, you see you're kind of walking by, and as you pass by this building, your heads all kind of like turn at the same moment, and you see there's this ratty, slightly tattered wanted poster that's been beaten to hell and back by the elements next to a new one. You look to the side and you see this scruffy ass pirate wearing this looks like a half-rotted tricone, blue vest in the image, kind of like standing with his sword out, trying to look regal, but everything he's wearing is beaten by the weather and kind of worm-eaten. And over the top of it says, Captain Madison. Wanted for larceny, kidnapping, extortion, murder, whatever Grand Theft Auto of a boat is called, general piracy, along with a variety of other things. And then you see, like, at the very bottom, it says treason, and then consorting with the Sahagin for the destruction of Limsa Lominsa. Reward 25,000 gil. And then next to it you see a new one, and it's a white-haired Makote, long hair, bright blue eyes, scars on his face, and like very slight Sunseeker markings, kind of staring back at you in a set of armor that you don't recognize, but the face is immediately clear to all of you but Yedrin. And it says wanted, and it just shows the picture. There's not a name attached to it, just says wanted for spying, consorting with Garleans, theft of classified material, consorting with Sahagins, summoning a primal, murder, theft, and a variety of other crimes. Reward 75,000 gil.
Oh no.
Kato just kind of pulls that one off.
Camilla goes, oh boy.
Adrian's just looking at everyone like, what's exactly the issue there?
That's the person we're here for.
Camilla meanwhile has grabbed the one from Madison, and she looks around Kato's arm at the poster, and she goes, "That's worse than what Jaramel's poster said." It's at this point that, as you guys pull those down, you hear cackling next to you, and this old tan-skinned man, kind of looks leathery from being out in the sun far too long for far too many number of days. Busted fishing stick next to him, this huge curly white beard dangling down to his mid-chest, and this giant white afro. Just is like cackling at you. You can see there's fishing hooks kind of like dangling out of his fro as he brings up a bottle of liquor. You have no idea what type of liquor it is. You just know it's liquor and it stinks to high heaven. He takes a long swig. He says, "Good luck to you." Those posters have been sitting there for months. That one in particular, and he's pointing to the one that Kato has. He goes, "That bounty just keeps going up and up and up. They just keep adding to his list of crimes." Just cackles. He says, "No, Captain Madison. Know how long he's been wanted." Just look at this. Just look at how worn that poster is. Thing must have been sitting there since before the calamity.
You know what? Just for the hell of it.
You're not gonna eye that dude, are you?
No, how long has that poster been sitting there?
That poster? Which one?
Madison.
Madison.
At this point, the better part of like 10 years. Camilla meanwhile says, "It's a name to put to a face. What can I say?" she says, rolling up the poster and tucking it under her shirt. And what was the knowledge for?
Yeah, what was he?
Kato, he's a drunk. He's just making fun
Okay.
of you, to make fun of you.
He's a drunk doing drunk things. I
Yeah.
suspect you guys that poster has been there since the fourth calamity.
Drunk's gonna drunk.
Camilla, since you were wondering about Madison's history of being wanted, you essentially know he's a pirate. He started out relatively small, was originally a yellow jacket who grew fed up with the way everything was kind of being handled because he started on Merowib's crew under her father. After the execution of her father, he kind of just rolled with it a little bit. But he grew more and more disillusioned with Merowib and the way she ran things, and then the call of the sea and his desire to regain past glory kind of took hold. Also, because he basically exonerated her father to no end, he decided the best thing that he could do to serve her father's memory of his old captain was to follow in his footsteps, so he went to the Sahangan and has been working with them more or less ever since, but after the calamity, he more or less seems to have cut out on his own, is more just a really petty pirate at this point. Yeah, he does some kidnapping, yeah, he steals some shipments, but his glory days are done. He's growing on in age, he's not as spry as he used to be anymore. People just aren't scared of him. It's just a pain in the ass to find him.
Oh, it was the damper on things. Not that I didn't figure. We're at least 70. Just muttering to herself.
Skull pats her head. Well, just think that's less than a fourth of what we got in Opernaeus.
The agent probably just took a second to think to himself, nope, not worth messing with that family.
Yeah. Heart will break your fucking hands, too.
Kato's just kind of side-eyeing her regardless.
At least we know Ark is still alright for operative values of alright, says Fiona.
Well, nope, he's not going to say it.
Skull just kind of looks around and goes, well, actually, Fionn, would you be so kind as to roll a perception and then a sense motive for Skull? Okay, so Skull rolled a 28 on his perception.
That's
And
wisdom, not. That's
think
wisdom,
it's-
not sense motive.
probably the same.
Okay.
Skull like takes a look at Camilla. He's trying to ascertain her motives in this situation. But he quickly takes a look around. He recognizes what kind of happened earlier. And he goes, might I suggest if we're going to go do anything in town, we make sure that we're at least in groups of 2?
That sounds good. I mean,
Likewise, the quest,
yes.
if you're worried about your brother,
Mm.
obviously going to the tavern is probably the first thing we should do, just to talk that over, or the last thing we do before we leave. But we could also probably get information to see how collection of that bounty has been going.
Just kind of looks down to the ground a little bit. I almost don't want to know how the collection of that bounty's been going.
With any luck, it's been going very poorly.
Oh, Camilla said a smart idea to the going in too.
How about this, Stack? I'll read Camilla, you do Fionn.
Okay. Fionna's a skull. We can inquire then.
Skull just kind of looks around for a second. Goes, I don't mean so much as what they've been doing. How many attempts have been made? See if people are actually taking it seriously. I know it's a large amount of gil for sure, but who knows?
The larger the skill, the more dangerous it is, generally.
Likewise, they're claiming he summoned the primal. How many people do you think are gonna go out of their way to chase that down?
Considering how much help we needed.
Nobody would dare save the Scions, that's for certain, Camilla says. And as she finishes saying that, it's like, all you hear is Azir's voice come around, "Don't you touch her, you fucking scumbag!" And then you just see a man's head go flying across the way.
Oh no.
Like,
That's severed head.
just his head?
Just his head.
That's a severed head.
You just hear whoosh a second later.
Well, that's
Someone
not
tried touching Ida, I believe. Fiona goes, uh-oh.
Yeah, Jimmy mentally goes, good to see our track record is holding.
Roll a perception.
Who? Who should roll perception?
I just said roll perception.
Oh, okay.
Just a 20.
You all like hear where it's coming from. It's probably like a good 50 or so feet in front of you, and then off to a corner. And then all you hear is like, "Seven hells! Did you see what he did? Boys, let's teach this man a lesson and take our prize." And then you just hear, right. There's just this wave of blood that goes flying out the alley.
Kado takes a step back to avoid getting blood on his shoes.
Well, that's like 3 yards ahead of us, so.
Still.
Next thing you just hear a Yellow Jacket going, "What the fuck?"
Oh. That's not good.
Sally, I don't think that's not unusual in this area.
Maybe we should keep walking.
Yes, let's sit down. Yeah.
You keep walking, you finally you pass by him and let you turn your head, and you see he's actually very calmly just talking to a yellow jacket. But there's blood and gore all over the ground around him.
And probably on him.
He's surprisingly clean.
Interesting.
Like it doesn't even look like there's any on his blade.
Just out of character, it's because there's such force coming off his blade, they're just in backwash, it just goes all forward.
He was about as nonplussed as ever. Well, I was thinking it's like the one spell he does is prestidigitation.
He has got a little bit of blood on her arm, but like you see Azir's like got a rag and he's like wiping it off of her. Like explaining to the yellow jacket what's happened. The guy's like taking notes. He's like
Not gonna argue, not gonna argue, not gonna argue.
Okay, this Elliot's probably just another day on Limsa, so Yellow Jack's probably just taking a statement and just gonna file it, and that's it.
roll a sense motive, Camilla.
He's just like, ugh. This just means I have to do more paperwork.
You're watching, and it's pretty clear that the guy's like not really interested in what happened, and more like, how did you do that, and how can I do it?
I was gonna say, you gotta stay what Camilla had said, though.
Not a problem.
So, are we gonna go to the tavern, or do you want to hit up the shops, or?
Just give me one quick second to look up a link somewhere, just so I can make a statement I think I could make, but I want to make sure.
Oh, Let us inquire with the proprietor of the Adventurers Guild first, shall we? Says Fionn.
Skull goes, I believe that was called the Drowned Winch.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, where would you say you are?
You're down by the Fisherman's Guild right now. However, there's a lot of ways to get back up, so... Not kind of like the one pathway that they had in Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah, I was just looking, there's a couple...
insanely congested all the time.
Yeah, there's a couple ways up from where we are. Even then...
The map doesn't match at all,
Yeah.
so... Yeah.
But there's probably a way up, would you say there's probably a way up around a Harvest Round, which probably...
I mean, there's stairs everywhere.
Good enough. Well, the Drowned Winch is on the upper decks. We can head straight there if you want.
Yeah.
Well, you did, like, most of you walked up to go attune, so... I mean, technically I could just say you're already on the upper decks, and
Yeah.
more or less, like, are seeing and hearing what Azir did from beneath you.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
That's fine. In which case, my statement would sort of change to the Drowned Winches points in direction that way.
Okay. Orc says, good! I could use a day drink.
Pato's just over here like, ugh, why does the place have so many stairs?
Orc says, come on, Kato, it's good for you.
I
Work
lived on
those
a
thighs,
mount.
boy.
I lived on a mountainside. I've done enough climbing in my life.
Then it shouldn't be an issue for you.
Dex just going up the stairs, just Tip, 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 tip.
He also, like, Orcs also looks at you and he goes, if she's not complaining, you don't have a right to.
Are you kidding? I'm doing lunges practically every time I take these stairs.
Would you like a ride?
No, I'm good. Out of character, her thighs are magnificent.
And that would make we're probably actually making pretty good time considering I got past the speed boost.
Yeah, no, it's those guys that's like. Tip, 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 tip. And Fiona walks quietly after Dax. She is no stranger to Ishgard's stacked districts.
Yeah, just lived here and as such, just going in the right direction.
Cool.
Camilla, meanwhile, groans from the back. Skull just turns around, like, looks at Camilla and goes, I'm not Agitar, I'm not carrying you. And just keeps walking.
They do have an elevator on, like, the far side of town, but...
Camilla, that was an option?
Not with Skull around, nope.
He goes, I mean, she could have summoned the giant Death Raven to just fly you up.
Shh. She puts her finger up to her nose. Shh.
At that point, he kind of giggles and he goes, well, or we could have had Timaeus carry you.
No!
That sounds like a very, very bad idea.
It's like, shh, she doesn't know who Timaeus is. Camilla, meanwhile, has sighed and droops her ears. I'm fine with the stairs.
Stop making me feel bad for you, Camilla. That's not a character, by the way.
In the meantime, Skull's like sighing. He goes, you're the whiniest group of adventurers I've ever met.
You just need to get used to them, because as long as you're here, you're gonna see a lot of stairs. Just okay, that didn't mean to sound complaining. If I did, I meant like just matter of fact statement.
No, it's you basically told Camilla it's like we're gonna see a lot of stairs. She meanwhile whines, but doesn't say anything.
I actually stayed in Limsa for a small time. I actually was training at the Bismarck for a couple months.
Can
So again, you guys have the option. Are you going to the Drowned Winch first, or are you going to go anywhere else? Or are you going to split up?
I think most of the group wants to go to the Drowned Winch, and we may or may not have important discussions there, so I think most of us are going to go that way.
Yeah.
Anyone
I mean-
want to contest that? Kato, Fion?
Nope.
Also,
Camilla, do you
just
want to go somewhere else?
She wants to go away from all of us. That's what she wants.
also just okay.
Wants
That's
to
all.
go somewhere where there's no stairs.
Yeah, it's okay. That's how logs pop up in the Discord. I'm not sure if he's just looking or if that's his phone connected for a split second.
Works like kind of stops and he goes. He like crouches down, gets in the jumping position, jumps up and gets like 10 feet up, and then goes flops back down. He goes, "Fuck."
You lost that, remember?
He's like, "Don't remind me. It was so useful."
Well, that's...
Meanwhile, Rowan like pats him on the shoulder. It's like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, like, I don't have anything to do, possibly shopping, but I can't think of anything I'd want offhand.
Yeah, I'll put that where I would like, but I can be done later before we leave, whatever.
Well then, you all arrive at the winch. You're immediately met by the raucous sound of a very large number of people inside. Kind of just everyone's enjoying themselves. Like, it seems like a bunch of sailors and fishermen have already gathered up. The clink of wine glasses and ale tankards and various bottles is nigh on frequent. A number of waitresses running around in bodices and rather tight-fitting skirts are kind of just rushing to and fro, getting drinks and meals to every which person who seems to be passing by. You see the Adventurers Guild proprietor kind of leaned over the counter, looking slightly bored, hiding one eye behind an eye patch, brown hair, and just kind of watching outwards, hair tied and mostly hidden behind a white bandana and his blue vest. As he sees you enter, he just kind of cocks an eyebrow and looks back out. Meanwhile, you take a moment to kind of gaze around the place, and aside from the numerous fishermen, you can see about 5 groups of adventurers. Camilla, your eyes cut through, and just like that, you find yourself staring face to face with Jaramel, kind of already a bit deep in her cups, but recognition fills her eyes as the white-haired Mikote female just kind of perks for a moment and looks at you, then looks back down and just kind of shrugs. Camilla, meanwhile, freezes, tail bristling. Shit! For the rest of you, I need you all to make perception checks to see who. Fionn is like, that man meets Skull, like in her head, like I'm gonna take him back, rock his world again.
Perception 10 for Fionn, natural 1.
Did we get a nice set of 20 off of 10, 20 off of 9, 22 off of 10?
Well, I got a 25 technically. You gotta add the stuff in my notes.
Still roll her perception to see if she notices anything else. And
28.
28. Trying to find anything else to hold her interest at this moment. Dak, as you're looking around, you quickly note Arbert sitting at a table across from a female Mikote with white hair. The brown-haired Midlander dressed in a bit better armor than the last time that you saw him. By his side is a black mage hiding most of his face, dressed in the darkest set of robes you've ever seen, with the big poofy hat. You can see next to nothing of his face aside from his eye. Just one of his eyes. And pretty much all of his skin is covered. And then a tiny, tiny Lalafell, maybe only 2 inches taller than you, with brown hair and big brown eyes, just kind of like kicking her feet back and forth, dressed in white mage's attire. Camilla, meanwhile, guys, you know what I said about Jay's friends? She whispers, she goes, that's them.
Oh, that's Arbert.
Meanwhile, Camilla, Yedra, and Dak and Kato all are kind of like looking around a little bit more. And over to the side, she can see Edda is kind of sitting at a table with Pyorio, Luvian, and Aver. They're all kind of like, they're chatting all a bit excitedly, though Yedrin and Camilla can both see that Aver's face is kind of a little more downtrodden than the others. Like, he's keeping up a good show of looking like he's excited, but there's worry plastered on his face. Kato, Dak, you two recognize the sight of Dolores Bear and his 2 companions sitting about 3 tables across from Aver and his group, and directly between you and Jaramel, the bright blue-haired Rogadin with his white skin, like, waving at you all. But there's two other groups that kind of disturb you as you're looking. One of them is this group of 6 individuals, all clad decently well, kind of at your level in terms of equipment that they're wearing. Variety of races, like you see, like what looks to be like a Lalafell male monk, dark-skinned, yellow Rogger's fist attire, and next to them is a Highlander wielding a very large hammer, and a couple mages surrounding them. Then you also see a man with a gun just kind of sitting with them, fiddling with it very slowly. And 2 tables down from them is Deck. Your echo trips off of them, and it makes your skin crawl with like what's going on in their heads. Just man in dark armor, looks every bit as dark as what Mordric was wearing. There's another man playing with like a skull and making like a little tiny skeleton animate off of it and dance and then drop back down and doing it again, just kind of over and over. There's a Moonkeeper Mikote sitting in between them, holding this jar that's sort of crawling with like beetles, with something inside of it being kind of very slowly picked apart, and she's wearing like an elk skull over her head as this dark green hair flutters out from the back of it. You can see her ears just kind of poking out where the antlers should be. And lastly, you see what should be what you're guessing is a white mage, but his robes are tattered, dark, dirty, and he just looks completely uninterested in the group that he's surrounded with and anything else going on. His eyes are basically dead white, and he turns and he looks at you, and there's a small sneer.
Dex just kind of staring dead-eyed straight ahead.
Straight ahead where?
Just like the thing that happens when Chiefs are echo going, just kind of like dead eyes for a second.
So she's staring at them?
Kind of past them, yeah.
Past them? You suddenly hear in the back of your head, "What are you looking at?"
Nothing.
Take your peepers somewhere else.
She just shakes her head. Okay, she looks kinda, the others just kinda looking rather tired suddenly. Is something the matter, Tequat? No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Where were we going? She makes a big gesture towards the that last room and is like, leave them alone. Fiona nods towards the bandana wearing man behind the counter. That looks to be the proprietor, so let's speak with him. Sounds good.
Hello.
It works.
Hi, Lords.
Just been like a late session tonight.
Well, we had some chit chat about in town anyway, so.
As you all come up, the man looks up and goes, Welcome to the Drowned Winch. I'm Bandarin. So called for the bandana. How can I help you?
Deck just kind of rubbing her head a little bit, still looking a little bit out of it.
Before you get a chance, you just hear, and then you hear Banner go, "Oh fuck, no, not you!" And he just points. You see Azir.
Oh, I was going to warn you about my brother.
He just goes, "Bandarin, bring me tuna."
Oh no.
He's
I
like,
hope you stocked up.
you see Bandarin go, just eye twitch.
Surprised he's not pulling out a crucifix.
Beyond demon. We also wanted to inquire about the status of an excellent bounty, Fiona or Jax motioning to the poster from Kato.
At that point, like,
Yeah.
several waitresses have led Azir away, and they've literally brought out a whole, like, bluefin tuna just to, like, roast in front of him.
Kato pulls out the poster and hands it over.
Banner takes it. I'm guessing you gave him the one for Ark.
Yeah,
He goes,
the one that I grabbed.
He watches with piqued curiosity.
he just kind of pops it out, looks at it, and he's like, "Ah! Listen. So, what can I do for you bonny lasses and, strapping lads?"
Agent's fight is going to be quiet and that the people that handle people then actually have a high stake in their handle this.
Are there any groups presently looking after this bounty? Says Fiona.
Banner looks at Fiona and goes, and he points directly at Jarmel and Arbert's group.
Hmm.
They're the only ones here now. Most of the rest of these folks have been prowling for different sorts of work. He goes, I think 4 or 5 have gone after him since it went up. I buried 4 of them.
Oh no.
That's a Burns.
Hmm. Sounds about right.
Now, were these fire burns or more electrical burns?
Both. Both is good.
Fair enough.
Just then? Alright, Fiona nods. That's a troubling scenario. So, nobody survived?
He goes, there's the one guy, he points way back in the back, and there's a guy, like, both of his arms gone, there's this massive scar across his neck. One of his legs has been sheared off to the knee, and, like, he's just kind of, like, laid back, like, half catatonic as someone's feeding him. There's him.
Dick just looks very concerned.
Just kind of tugs at his collar a bit.
Fiona blanches. Noted.
Now, to be perfectly fair, we don't know if it was him that did the limbs, or if it was sharks.
Dick just covers her face. Dick's just looking better and better.
close enough to kind of see what the wounds look like, or
Camilla says I should start writing a will. Kato, they've had a long enough time to heal that they're stumps.
okay.
Now, the
So
one
we will-
across his neck, very clearly a soul mark.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's been. How long ago did he go? Did that happen?
2 months? He was one of the first ones to go out.
And you would think that would have served as a warning to the others.
He goes, Gil makes people do crazy things.
Just kind of glances at Hunt.
Just so Deadpan stares at. Just so Deadpan stares at Kato.
Oh, come on, tell me I'm wrong.
Camilla goes, there are people even more gung-ho than your group or Jaramel's. Skull goes, I guess we just better be glad the Suns aren't here.
Oh no, I would not want them to go. He actually starts like looking around like, God, they're not here, are they?
Roll a perception.
No, you sweet children, no! That would be a 31.
Sweet child.
That would be a 31.
We don't see any of them.
Okay, good. So it's on the side, like, ah. They should have more sense than that, Fiona says. Okay, they would say Lancelot.
Skull goes, and Gawain.
And going. I actually had a question. Is there a private room that, I could rent out
I mean,
for a conversation?
he just kind of like looks around a little bit and he goes, and then it's a big open room. He goes, not really. There's not really anybody out on the deck if you want to go talk out there.
Fiona flips through her grimoire idly. Okay. Might be good to go out on the walkway then.
Camilla's just like, Jaramel's eyes are just kind of like following Camilla slightly, just kind of like watching her a little bit. She takes a long drink, kind of like licks her lips, kind of stares a little bit, eyes kind of like rolling down to her hips, then back up to her face. And then suddenly Arbor goes, is something wrong, Jarma? No, I just feel like I'm seeing a doppelganger.
Fiona, meanwhile, says, I can make a diversion to Hawker's Alley for a spell that would help us.
Camilla, meanwhile, flicks her tail and edges away from the rest of the group to avoid association.
I
Roll
could go
a
with Own.
stealth. And because they got eyes dead on you, take a -10.
Oh, the two.
That too. Bump a waitress. Just shoot.
Crash.
Alcohol spilled all down the front of her chest, just like mattering the clothing.
Well, good thing she's got that mithril shirt on underneath. Can't see any of the goods.
Not gonna stop some of them from trying.
Ah! Never mind, sorry. It's true.
Snaps her fingers to clean it all up. Which is like, oh, okay. Like, picks everything up and walks away. Meanwhile, the group walks outside, leaving Camilla alone as she sees Azir now has a she's like basically finds herself sitting with Azir and Ia at this point. And Azir, like, you're talking probably a 200+ pound fish was put in front of him. It has been cut and it's all been seared into like tuna steaks in front of him. Various sauces have been brought out. There's... the best way I can put it, an entire wok just full of butter noodles to his side. And like mixed green vegetables and carrots and all this other stuff just sitting over. And he's looking... and there, can we look and see there's this like slight look on his face. It's like, is this it?
Is this it? I wanted dinner, not an appetizer.
Seeing how long he's been on a meditative fast or whatever, it's gonna be,
Oh, that's wrong. We're just gonna run out of food.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
A waitress tries to bring him alcohol, and he's like, take this swill away from me and bring me water.
I'm surprised Daveron hasn't contacted the Fishers Guild yet.
Just takes the... Camilla just takes the alcohol.
I can take that off your hands. Ugh. He quietly eats her bowl of fruit minty. Minty?
Azir, like, very calmly pushes the first tuna steak over to her and, like, shows her how to, like, dip it in, like, this soy sauce and ginger mixture. At which point he finally comments, he's like, you do not have to be shy around my food. Anything I eat will be safe for you to consume.
At least the people who prepared it better hope so.
Poor Midnight. Hear him yelling in the hallway.
Just like, she blinks, nods a little bit, and accepts the tuna steak with a soft smile. Meanwhile, the rest of you have gone outside. You're kind of looking around. There's no one out there. It's a pretty large deck. I mean, probably large enough that you could seat 50 to 60 people out here without too much issue. Lots of chairs, empty. The deck kind of hanging out over the ocean with tables ranging from very close to the all the way over to the railings.
What spell did you want to go get, Fiona? I can go with you if you want. If you don't mind, it's a lure to prevent eavesdropping that I've heard of, says Fiona.
well,
I'm just picturing the Cone of Silence from Get Smart.
Essentially.
well, if you want to grab that, some of us can stay here to try and get everyone's orders in before the place runs empty of food. Well, the rest of us do some quick shopping to get the spell, and I need to get some stuff in and come back for the conversation.
Yeah, I know. Rowan's not gonna come with. She wanted to sit. Oh.
So we're just gonna do our own thing for the moment?
I mean, if you want to go down to the market real quick for anything.
I have other business I'd like to take care of before we get whisked off to our next adventure.
Skull like kind of pats you work and he goes, well, we are going to talk about our quarries capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say I need to go find someone that might be able to help me understand a few.
Well, we were also trying not to go out without a person with us.
Limsa is not the
Out
safest
there.
of. Limsa itself is not the safest of place at the best of times.
Eh.
No, There's serious danger of being alone in Limsa.
Put this into perspective, folks. Think Kigane, but properly geared.
Alright.
Like earlier, we had some pirate dudes kind of sizing us up for kidnapping.
Okay.
Kidnapping and sex slavery.
Yeah, basically.
Pleasure barges, as
It's
it
hard.
was put.
Alright, I'll take Rowan. I mean, the two of us can pretty much handle anything that's thrown at us.
Rowan wanted us to.
Rowan looks at
Okay, fine.
us. Yes, please. She like puts her feet up. You see, she's a heel on. I did not pack well for the travel. I need to buy a pair of shoes later.
Okay, fine. Who wants to come with me?
I guess.
Kato, my man.
Don't sound so enthusiastic, Kato.
Kato, we're going down to the docks. You never know. Find a sailor down there.
Perks up just a little bit.
Let's go find these nice healthy seamen.
Theo puts Kato on the
And
back, hanging
flat.
there. You two would be fine together.
Azir like looks over at Camilla and goes, "Make sure they don't go to anything stupid."
Too late.
I think you're asking the wrong person in that department.
He's like looking at her and he's like, "I also assume you don't want to be here right now."
Probably like, not unless I can get some. No.
Camilla can't be worse than me. Shay's been staring at my arsehole the whole day. At this point, you see like Azir's already like horfed away a quarter of the fish. And no signs of slowing down.
Falls balls.
Like I said, two of us stay behind. We partially leave an order with them just so we get something before it's gone.
Get something before there's still food left in Limsa.
Camilla's like, needless to say, I feel safer with you right now. Azir's like, that's precious.
Well, if Yedrin's gonna go to the markets too, Shion, you two can go, and I can stay here with Rowan. Remember, going in pairs. If you prefer, Dak, be well then, and we'll return soon. I'll be fine.
Azir just like waves you over at that point, patting the table.
Yeah, Dak toddles off. Oh, that's it with Azir and the others. Takes Rowan with her.
Yeah, you just like sit at the table with Iya, Azir, and Camilla. You all just watch in half awe and just half horror as he just keeps eating.
Mostly horror.
Dak touches her link pearl. You can just say over link pearl what you guys want.
Just the entire wok of noodles just brings it in front of him and just like just downing it.
I don't think I'll be eating it then.
He goes, Dak, and like just stops. He's a very polite eater and goes, Dak,
Mm.
have you ever had Abalaha's palaya?
Oh yes, I actually know how to make it.
Just like looks at you.
Do it.
He is in awe, but this is growing commonplace for her.
He's just like looking at you as you say you know how to make it. Just blank stare.
Make it for you sometime if you'd like.
Do it now.
Don't have the materials.
She's like, we'll talk later. He just goes back to eating.
Will do.
Okay, so Works, Kato.
Yes.
You two end up back at the dock. What are you doing, Works?
I am looking for
Aside from
the
trying to get
Worm
Kato
Lord. Oh no, that was just to get him to come with me. I'm
Oh,
actually looking for the Worm Lord in Limsa.
Oh yeah, I don't think I actually told you about her.
No.
There were like 3 people that told individuals about it. Works did know about it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
Lox told me.
I'm gonna go and
So you're trying to find information on her?
See if I can find out where she is so I can at least
How are you asking?
talk to her. Well, gee, I suppose I can't say, you know, hey, do you know the person with the bright blue scales on their legs?
If that's how you want to ask it.
Not really.
Okay. How are you asking?
Well, I do have a name.
What's the name?
If I remember correctly, she wasn't. Let me bring up the notes real quick.
That's mostly
No,
that's mostly what I was waiting on. I was like, did you take the note on the name? If not, sucks to be you.
Brienne. If I did write that down correctly, it is Brienne. Also heard by name. I think she was a member of the Maelstrom.
Mhm.
I forget if Lox told me exact rank.
I believe that he told you she was a pirate.
I thought it was Maelstrom. Could be wrong.
Regardless, roll a well, actually, you get down to the docks, you see several people. You see like a dock master, you see a couple others just kind of like wandering about, sailors of various varieties. A couple are more finely dressed merchants, and one or two yellow jackets. Who are you going to try to ask? Or are you just going to ask around? Like, just in general canvassing?
I think I'll start with the merchants. They'll probably have more information.
Okay, so you try to go ask the merchants. Biggest question I have for you there then, Works, is how do you approach them and how are you talking to them?
I'll find one that's not currently busy.
Perception.
Alright. Beer here. Perception.
Natural 1.
Wow. Yep, I don't see jack fuck.
They're all busy. Like, you don't ever see a moment to get edgewise with any of them. They're all kind of like shouting over one another. They're shouting at their workers, or they're in the middle of deals, and it's just rather frequent. You don't see anything. Yes, please, Fiona, please just fire your scroll off screen. And let's call that good.
Alright, merchants aren't gonna work. I'm sure the pirate, I'm sure the yellow jackets might know about her, but they may also question why I'm looking for her. You said there were who else was there? The yellow jackets, the merchants, and
Sailors, a couple of more finely dressed individuals.
we'll ask them anyway.
Okay, so you walk out of the merchants, just like immediately start talking to them?
Good day, gentlemen. I do have a question. If you would happen to know where I might find a particular person, goes by the name Brienne. A famous swimmer.
They just kind of like look at you like gobstruck, like, how dare you approach me, you swine?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
that-
yeah.
just-
I
just
know,
that-
I know, yeah.
Sorry. Just that general look in their eyes, but they're not really responding to you. They kind of like look at you very strangely for a moment, and they go, why are you asking?
I have reason to seek her out.
Full diplomacy?
Oh, great. Things were starting off great with me today, so... Yep.
They just kind of like give you a slight stink eye, and they're like, right. No, we haven't. Don't know a thing. Not at all. If you'll excuse us, we have business to get back to. They both start like walking away.
I really need to develop my people skills. I could try some of the other sailors.
Okay. How do you approach the sailors?
Well, let's find one that aren't, dressed like, the hoity-toity bastards of Ishgard.
There's plenty. Most of them are like half naked, working out in the sun. Kato's getting like eyefuls of packages and man ass.
Not to mention titties.
Well, let me see. I can go up. I guess there's a couple ships of guys working on there.
As far as your eyes can see,
Huh.
in both directions.
Well, let's try a different approach. Kato, I need your help with something.
Oh dear.
This should be good.
Oh, quiet.
I'm gonna go ahead and take a shot now.
Kato, I'm looking for a particular person. I don't know if maybe you'd be able to kind of split the ground, help me out, so you can find information while I find information. Go talk to some of those good-looking guys over there.
I suppose.
Alright. I'll go over to one of the ships of sailors. You guys wouldn't have to know where I might find a particular person named Brienne, would I?
Like how I didn't
Roll
even
a flat
tell
one.
Kato what who I'm looking for. He didn't tell me a name or anything.
Oh, yeah, I did.
No, Kato's just like walking off. He's like, oh, what am I supposed to be doing?
God damn it!
You walk
Wow,
over and
dice are
like you
hitting.
tap a guy on the shoulder as he's going to like lift up this box, like to interrupt him. And there was another guy standing next to him. Fiona, I'll answer your question in a second. And as you do so, he drops the box. And you just go, oh my god, my back! And he just flops to the ground. He's like, ah! I threw up my back. Oh, get a curtain! Get a curtain!
Kato comes over. God damn it.
Ooh, you can roll your healing. Oh, never mind. You got the 10 on there. Like he gets back up. He's like, oh, why? What?
Sorry about that.
What is it?
I was wondering if you might be able to help me. I'm looking for a person named Brienne.
I think we should just move on from this guy.
He just goes. He looks at you and he goes, Brienne? I know lots of Briennes. I know 3 whores down the road named Brienne.
Famous swimmer. Might be known for some extra features around the leg area.
Subtle.
He's like slowly brings his head away from you and he goes, extra features around the leg area?
Scales.
Roll a diplomacy.
Christ. Didn't I put ranks into diplomacy? To help out with this bullshit?
Works, I have been eating your eating your rolls for quite a while. He just kind of like looks at you for a minute, goes, what did you say you wanted to talk to her for?
I've been seeking her out. She might know something useful that I need. We share some similarities.
He kind of looks around and goes, right. Let me tell you something. I don't want nothing to do with you lot. I'm a proud Fury-fearing Ishgardian. He's just like slowly backing away. Here's, I don't want no trouble. If you want to go find Brienne, that is all on you. Her ship sailed away from Limsa about 3 weeks ago. Don't know where she went. Hope she's at the bottom of the ocean. Like, see him like rapidly like make a sign of the Fury and like just start getting the hell away from you.
Of course she would sail away. Why wouldn't she be here? Because that would make my life a little bit easier if I could track down someone with this region that was some more knowledge. Christ. Great. Well, I need an idea. Kato, you got anything?
We could check with the... what are they called?
The Yellow Jackets?
No, the people who work at the piers, the ones
Port
who...
Authority?
Sure, let's go with that.
I don't think that would help too much. I don't know what kind of ship she sailed off of.
Okay. So, Kato, do you make the suggestion to him?
Yeah. Look, ask the people who kind of keep track of where boats are going.
To try.
Okay. Roll perception, both of you.
I got a 30.
Okay.
I got a 19.
The two of you kind of see a Port Authority office not too far away. You walk in, and as you walk in, you see a slightly tanned Makote. Short, floppish hair kind of parted over to the right and hanging down off the side of his face. Black. He looks up, he's got slightly golden colored eyes. And he goes, welcome. My name is Akuza. How can I help you?
I was trying to track down a particular person that was told they sailed out of Limsa about 3 weeks ago. Maybe you might have some information on that particular person.
Like, you see he's like pulling a book very slightly. Is there a particular reason that you're requesting these records? We can't just give this out to everybody who asks.
I've been trying
Kato
to...
stops him before he can start talking. He's got it in his head that this person is his soulmate, and I'm just trying to help him live out this delusion.
Just because of who it is, roll a bluff with a -5.
So 5.
He's just
Wow.
like... This Makote just looks at you like utterly deadpan and like starts putting the book back. He didn't say anything, he just starts putting the book back.
Thanks, Kato.
Like,
I think he would have believed the truth a little bit more. And trust me, even I have a hard time believing the truth sometimes.
He's just like... He's just looking at you, dude, just like letting you talk. Just very like slowly twiddling his thumbs.
I've been given a particular mission to find this person because they have some knowledge I've been in dire need.
Well, the East Aldner Trading Company and the Limsalimits and Port Authority has strict laws in place regarding the privacy of the variety of naval ships that come through along with their passengers and their various cargoes, provided they are all within the legal confines of our charter. If you would like to make a request for this information to be released to you, we can start the paperwork now, but that will take about 4 moons of processing before we can get back to you. Likewise, the wait time, he like slaps down like a tray of paperwork, and it's a... Just because I have it on hand, the paperwork that he put down is about the size of a hardcover Webster's New World Dictionary.
Yeah, thanks. We're just gonna...
He just kind of eyes you for a minute, and he goes, now if you want to give me a legal reason why you need this information, we can circumvent it a little, or...
I mean, she's probably a wanted criminal somewhere, right?
Probably. I mean, I'll give it time.
He just kind of looks at the two of you as you say this, and he goes, "What?"
Yeah.
The person I'm speaking has a... I've heard she has a bit of a reputation for causing trouble.
Roll a bluff with another -5, because he already like caught you lying once, so now he's just got like eyebrow raise.
6.
He's like, he's just looking at you now, going, "I don't take bribes."
Alright, this has been interesting. Alright, we'll go ask someone else.
He's just like, okay.
If you have any better ideas on how I can ask people, and without giving it away, that the whole earning day, hour pay.
Do you hear that Makoto go, "You're getting hourly pay?"
Just walks out the door. Well, I guess it'll just leave the Yellow Jackets. Fuck it, we tried everything else, let's go ask them. Maybe they know something about this person. I mean, hell, Locke seemed to know a decent amount. She's gotta have a reputation somewhere.
Yeah.
Shit, I mean, being...
Well,
might as well just be blunt at this point.
that actually could work. If she does have a warrant, then maybe we could actually get some information from him.
Alright, let's go find a Yellow Jacket.
Well, there's the ones that were monitoring the docks, and there's like one kind of every 30 or so feet you can like look down an alleyway and see one standing off somewhere else. So there's plenty to choose from.
Let's see
You
if
look
we
around and you can see there's one Lalafell, there's 2 Highlanders, a Midlander, and then a female Rogan.
Which one of them looks to be at the highest rank?
Roll perception.
Yep, saw that coming. God damn, what the hell? Adrian, we got your dice tonight.
You take a look, Kato, and you have to guess it's probably the female row.
Let's try her. She looks more important than the others.
Alright.
Granted, Kato's just being biased because he equates height with status.
Fuck you, I'm important.
He's
Alright, so
become an invader. The tallest!
Oh my god, yes.
Alright, so we'll go ask the female Rogadin.
You walk over, and as you approach, you see this female Rogadin with kind of a slight green tint to her skin, rolling off to the side. Her hair's rolling off to the side. It's kind of a white blue. Like one side shaved, the other side's incredibly long.
So Minbreda hair?
Yeah, very close to that. She's wearing a tricone at the moment. She's got a few decorations. She doesn't seem to be a very high rank, but higher than most of the other people who are kind of walking around. Her yellow jacket coat is completely closed up, concealing quite a bit of bust. She's got like little pads on the sides of her coat, and she's just standing there. And she's like, "Oh, hang on. Oh, hello. How can I help you two gentlemen?"
Greetings. I was wondering if you might be able to help. I've been trying to... I've been on a search for one person. I was told they might be in Limsa. Goes by the name Brienne. Notable for being an excellent swimmer and having scales along her legs.
She just looks at you and says, that sounds familiar. Can I ask why you are looking for this woman?
We have a connection. Nothing of legal matters. We share a similar past.
She's looking at you and goes, "What sort of past are we talking here?" Like, mild interest.
It relates back to Ishgard. A lot of stuff to deal with, all that.
Just kind of very slowly tilts her head and goes, "Really? Roll diplomacy."
Oh, Christ.
Can I assist?
God
You may.
damn it!
I don't think it's gonna help much, but you may.
No, won't.
She looks at you and goes, "Really? That's funny. I know Brienne. I know she's nowhere from Ishgard."
Huh.
Then, like, she's like pointedly looking at you now.
Well, you know of her scales, right?
Oh no, she has a skin condition.
What if I told you I had a similar condition?
I mean, you're an aura. I would assume you would.
Very similar.
She goes, just kind of shrugs. It's like, why? What do you need Brienne for that for?
Because me and her share the same condition. And she might know a little more about it than I do.
Roll another diplomacy. I'll give you +2.
Not really, +2.
Finally.
Fucking yes! And on a charisma scale, nonetheless.
She's gonna go. Honestly, I would suggest going more to an apothecary for that, but if you're really that concerned about it, Brienne sailed off on a delivery with the Rose of La Nocia about 2 weeks ago. She should be returning to Limsa in another 2.
Another 2.
Where did this rose go?
Boreal.
Just looks like a fucking course it did.
Well, not really to Voreel. They're more heading to Charlet, but they're docking at Voreel because Charlet doesn't have a port.
It's about 2 weeks' time.
Why don't you write her a letter and let's see if we can have this nice woman deliver it for us on her return.
She just looks at you and is like, do I look like a post-Moogle?
Yeah, really, come on, Kato. No, but I think we might be able to get a Moogle to deliver it for us.
Why didn't we just think of that in the first place?
So I wanted to see if I could talk to her in person first.
Fair enough.
The lady just kind of looks at you and is like, would you read a letter from a strange person that you never met claiming that you had a spiritual connection because of a skin condition?
That wouldn't be the weirdest thing that I've ever heard in my life.
Honestly, it wouldn't be.
You two
I mean, that's not gonna.
interesting lie. She just like starts walking away from you.
It's not gonna be my opener, but. Well, at least we know where she is and when she'll be back. Alright, let's go try that letter.
Alrighty.
I take it you both return to the drowned winch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say for the sake of it, during that conversation, you are writing her that letter. And when you're done with what's going on with the party, and before you leave Limsa, you mail it.
Just come back to the table, just like fucking defeated, like, oh my god. I need to develop my people skills.
You come back and you see Azir has gone from eating that... Like, there's basically a skeleton of a tuna sitting on the floor, and now they have a full shark in front of him.
Dax eating a salad.
I was gonna say,
Azir gave her, like, a bowl of his noodles.
I was gonna say, I'm guessing Fiona and the agent got back before them.
Yes. You both did successfully had your little shopping trip.
Mm-hmm.
You see Skull now has like has his own little notebook and a quill.
Fiona since returned with Yedrin having a cup of tea while filling out her grimoire with her new spell.
The agent's probably ordered like some smaller fish just so she doesn't get in his way that direction.
Also, Skull bought a hat and has like put it on her head, like a little
I just sat
beret.
down at the table, I'm like, I need to work on my people skills.
Azir, yes, yes, you do.
Sorry. Yes, you do.
I was able to kind of take care of what I came here for.
Yes,
Of
weeks
course,
and...
I thought
Go ahead, Works.
Of course, they're not here!
Oh, this is the story of our lives.
Jesus like cuts off like a big piece of shark. He's like got the bone. He's like eating it like it's a rib. The joys and the adventure and the journey, not the destination.
He squeaks and reaches up to pull out the hat. Huh?
It's like I thought it would look good on you. Also, your ears look cold.
Thank you.
Sits back down next to Fiona and just kind of like leans on her.
Agent's not even gonna comment on the people skills comment because she also knows she's not the best at it.
I try not to be socially awkward, but...
Sometimes it just happens.
The agent is all
especially
Rowan's just like, no comment.
Especially when you're trying to, like, you know, be subtle about something because you don't know how it's perceived.
Dex just kind of staring at Works. How are you trying to be subtle?
When I talked to Lux the one day, he told me that the one of the others like me is in Limsa.
Azir just like immediately shoves an elbow into Works and points outside.
I didn't say exactly what I said, what I am.
You saw it slightly tilts their head just to see what Izzy is pointing at.
Oh, he was pointing to go outside and have the conversation where people couldn't hear him.
Okay.
Just I was trying to track someone down, and of course they're not here.
I see. How long does the spell last, PM?
Also, if you would read her line.
Oh, sorry. That was sweet of you, Fionn says with a smiled skull, arm wrapped around it. Anyway, I have a spell ready to cast. Sorry.
It's all good.
It should last a few minutes, enough time to go over the strategy.
Azir just very calmly nods. He goes, okay. You have your conversation, and we'll continue eating.
Okay.
Fiona makes a few hand motions, and the next thing is like you kind of hear this around the table, and a few people like turn to see like what's going on. Like they recognize she's casting a spell. The next thing is just kind of like dead silence from your table, and a few people like look. They're like, and then just very slowly turn back to their meal. Meals, drinks, their own conversations.
Well, I wanted to tell you, just in case it came to it, what Arcelus can do. Because there's always the chance that things don't go well. Much as that actually terrifies me.
Yeah, Jin's probably still eating, but actually make sure that she's paying attention. So
Camilla says, so what are we in for? And one moment.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to start clearing out the music. Okay.
So, first of all, he specializes in electricity or lightning. And He's fast. He's very fast and augments it with spells. She's actually looking fairly uncomfortable talking about it.
Right. Azir's not saying anything.
I've noted his capabilities and have countermeasures ready for this should it come to it, BM says.
Like I said, Azir is not talking through any of this. He's just quietly eating and listening.
I'm actually trying to... This is like out of character. I'm actually trying to remember the different things.
I'm gonna just send you a sheet.
Yes, please! It's so much easier. But he's very fast. It's hard to hit him. He knows a fair number of mom's spells. And
Hey, Ginger, yourself down for that one because she's seen mom's spells.
exactly.
You actually speak up for that one. You mean the whole like the
I'm not actually sure he knows that, but he might know a few of the non-elemental type.
So, powerful magic. Got it.
Powerful electric magic for the most part, but he can also augment himself.
Todd, since you're more specialized in magic, is there any particulars to like spells dealing with lightning that we should know ahead of time?
Camilla goes, so a spell sword against a spell sword, yeah? Then she leans back.
Yeah. It would be in our best interest, mine, Fionn, and Rowan's, possibly even Kato, not to get close to him. He can steal your breath. Understood, says Fionn.
So what about, like, you know, me and Yijin who don't really have a choice?
I don't know, honestly.
I mean, yeah, I can sit back and roll my lance at him all I want, but...
Stay light on your feet. That's what I'll be doing. Camilla retorts.
Try and dodge if you can, if possible.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, he's got lightning spells. From the sound of it, he's got fire as well.
So we gonna really not want to be standing too close to each other in any direction.
Possibly.
Yeah, dragons are famous for their breath attacks. Trust me, they'll mess you up no matter what. That much I can attest to.
There is the primal, yes. I hope it doesn't come to that.
Dak. Roll a wisdom.
Wisdom. 11.
You're recalling something else. Something dangerous that you saw happen once. But it's fuzzy. Very fuzzy in your head.
Okay. Meanwhile, Fionn says, I can shield us against both fire and electrical magic, so it'll be exhausting on my greater magic. That's alright, I have some resist energy spells.
You say he fights in melee, and that I know there's a lot of dangerous enchantments and stick on weapon. Is there anything in that direction we should be aware of?
I don't know what he has. I saw the armor on that wanted poster and I didn't recognize it.
So he's using different gear than what you're familiar with already.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember something that was just on. What's that? There's something I need to warn you about, but I can't remember what it is.
He's not gonna rip our heads off, is he?
Dak,
Mm-hmm.
you can feel your echo trying to trip off you. Roll a will save.
Oh boy, that's great. Wow.
You have a
25.
choice. You can let it slip, or you can ignore it.
Fuck it, I'm diving.
Before I do that, Camilla says, "Hey, when the time comes, you said you're going alone." Yeah, Camilla asks. "We should all stay out of sight at first. If the fight starts, we're gonna need a signal. I've got some whistle arrows if you'd like me to fire one off."
Aye.
At that point, she can't out.
She gets as far as I, and then she gets this kind of like far off stare.
There's this momentary silence, Dak, where you feel your face is being pressed into a sheet of plastic, and the world around you starts to turn black and purple for a moment. Your eyes kind of dilate and disperse, and everyone's looking as your pupils turn pitch white, the scala around it going this deep purple and then suddenly starting to glow blue in front of you. And as this happens, I need everybody at the table to roll a will save.
Oh, great.
Oh, great.
Dak? Fiona hurries to reach out and catch the listing Lullafell, realizing what's going on immediately. Dak!
That's a horrible.
Ia and Azir do not need to roll it. Everybody rolled awful. As Fiona goes to grab her, the blue kind of jolts out, and these spectral hands just start grabbing everybody's faces. And the next thing you know, you're in the same situation. Your eyes are glinting purple. The irises are gone. The last thing you see is Azir just looking at you all going,
Not this shit again.
not this shit again. He's just like, alright, whatever. And he just very calmly stands up and leans you back in your chairs. So as you're pulled in, you all find yourselves in Dak's memory. And it's fuzzy. There's fog everywhere. And as you're looking about, you realize that you're standing in the midst of the last calamity. You're watching as these explosions are going off all around you. You can see Bahamut overhead, all from Dak's low to the ground perspective. And as you're watching, you can see Arceus standing far ahead of Dak, probably 200 or so feet ahead of her. You see a tiny hand reach forward and then you see the burst hit him. And as the blast hits him dead on, his body slams into the ground. You see him plant face first, and then a second one hits, and he bounces up probably 3 or 4 feet in the air. Parts of his body kind of disintegrating from the heat. And then Dak hits the ground. And her head kind of lolls off to the side, pointing off to where she just saw this impact. And as her vision begins to fade, she sees something odd. And it's this faint memory where it's a question, is this even real? And the form of this Mikote is rising up, charred, almost pitch black from the burns coating his body. Hair kind of matted back, almost completely burned away, leaving him almost bald. Like, part of his face seems to be gone, but there's this blue glow, very similar to what you've seen surround Hydaelyn or a white mage in a burst of power. And as it kind of comes over him, there's one hand sort of starts reaching out towards Dak, and this small swarm of blue gleaming entities, almost they're both featureless, but at the same time developed enough that if you stare, you can start to see facial features form. You can start to see bits of equipment start to gather on them, and you can see 6 or 7 of them just kind of jolt out of him, and then 20, then 40, then 50, then 100, then 200, then 500, and it just keeps starting to build and roll out, and then they all just sort of flood back into him before everything goes black. And then you all wake up to the words that Ia says, "Is this normal?"
Yeah, it kind of is.
What the hell?
Dak's like looking down at her bowl, and she's got tears rolling down her cheeks.
So, what was that?
No, and also Fionn had shuddered. She remembered the calamity very well. Fionn shakes her head and reaches up to rest a hand upon her face, trying to reconcile the memories with her own harrowing experiences as a lowly adder on that hellscape.
See,
That
Azir
was-
is kind of like wiping Dak's brow with a handkerchief, like seeing she's sweating, and kind of wipes her tears away.
That was when Ark died.
Well, I don't think he died. He's, yeah.
Yeah.
So, let me guess, he's immortal.
I don't know. There were spirits you saw?
Yeah, I saw, and then I saw him die down in the dungeon, too.
I don't know what it's called, but I think that's part of his echo.
You know, why can't we just go fight like a mouse or something?
Sorry.
Azir like looks at you at that comment and just kind of goes, like thinks for a second, and then like,
The ability to return from the dead. That sounds like nothing less than Heidelin's blessing, says Fiona.
Adrian is just open silent contemplation.
Doesn't matter what it sounds like. We can't get him to come quietly. It sounds like one hell. It sounds like one hell at a time.
I just hope it doesn't come to it. Oh. And when he does fight, he doesn't fight clean. He will try and goad you. He's good at...
Manipulative?
He's just very observant.
Oh, he probably can't tell me what I already haven't heard myself. Or told myself already. Or seen myself.
Talking about it. So, Vince, about Camilla's plan of us standing off to the side until you call for us. How likely is it to notice us doing that?
Camilla, meanwhile, says, "You were in caution, huh? 7 hells." She starts to shake the bleariness from Red. You're even stronger than you let on to live through that.
I don't know how I lived through that. All I know is I woke up on an island.
I kind of like lower my head, lower my voice. Bahamut, in that, I don't know how much of my head you see.
Jack takes out a flask from her bag and just starts drinking from it. Tilts her head back.
Bahamut responds to you, Works. It's just very quiet, like... Just...
You so
Agent thinks for a moment, it's like... Thoughts? How heavy is that stuff?
She stops. Kind of like looks at Yedrin, holds it down.
I can wait. I can wake Bahamut up. He has something that can take the edge off.
Starts drinking again.
Okay. I wasn't worried about you getting drunk. I was gonna ask if I could have some if it was heavy enough.
All I can remember in the end was the Archon casting a spell and then everything turning to light, says Fiona.
Well, if I could wake this useless lizard up, I ask him if he knows anything
It wasn't
about
snoring, he just growled at you.
Yeah.
Alright, well, what you got on this? I mean, you're a dragon, you were kind of there.
You're acting like a... Never mind. Different version.
Okay, but still, I mean, I think you might know something about this.
No, I don't.
Are we just walking walks talk to himself right now?
Probably. Wouldn't be the
Yes.
first time.
We watch Tart do it all the time, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can sort of tell it's the board it was. This is a bit more...
With these actual words, with Tars were like
No, it's just fucking Simish.
Yeah, well, it's also talking towards a board, which might mage stuff. Okay, this is Rox talking to empty air.
Fiona raises an eyebrow. Orcs, are you speaking with the Dreadworm again?
I figured if anyone knew anything, he might, but unfortunately, no, we come up with nothing.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was a spell. I mean, I figured when I was alive. Everything kind of went black after I saw that. Fiona eyes him incredulously before sighing and sinking back in her seat. I wish I could tell you more about what he cast, but I didn't exactly have time to study it. But seeing that was the reason why I went looking for him in the first place, because he had to be alive still. It was tickling the back of my head that he was still around.
Alright, so let's look at odds here. Odds we actually subdue him enough to,
That's...
drag him back alive?
Odds
we have to wind up killing him, or odds we wind up dead ourselves?
We're not gonna kill him.
Azer
The
just kinda, looks at words.
preferred option is we don't have to fight him at all.
That's true too.
I was just telling you this as a warning in case it did come to it. If you can't say the right things to Ark.
Well, I ain't gonna talk to him.
You are not going to talk to him.
Like I said, we can default back to the top of your strategy. Camille brought up that we made out a bit out of sight, so you can get a chance to talk to him alone, and then just give out a signal if you need an intervention. But
Like screaming.
problems there is, one, will you have time to intervene if something went wrong? Two, will you feel safe enough to do that? And three, would he be capable of noticing us?
I did say he's very observant, did I not?
Yes, you did.
He'll probably know we're there before we know where he is.
Skull goes, "Come now, Worksend. He's not a void-sent monarch. I'm sure he's not clairvoyant."
Let me see. He transformed into a dragon. He's apparently immortal, and he's probably one step below Void Sent Monarch.
Let's
see-
be honest. With the Echo, you never know.
That's the Skull points to Kyle. I was like, we don't know if he's immortal or not.
Well, we have 2 records of him dying, and coming back to life, so... I don't know, the consensus is kind of out on that one.
We have a record of him going unconscious and coming back to life.
Yeah,
We don't know what happened at Cardinal.
that's true.
If someone is
Camilla goes-
formed out,
Well, for several hundred forms out, he might not be able to see us, right?
if you're that far out, is there a point for us trying to intervene if something goes wrong?
I don't think any of us really have the range to,
Skull points
distract
to
him.
Skull points to Rowan and Fionn.
Okay.
I think some of their spells can reach that far. The big
That's
question there is, can his?
This one, surprise.
Fionn raises her hand. I have a spell I can use that at that distance to harmlessly subdue him if needs be.
How reliable would that subdual even be?
And how long would it last?
Briefly, says Fionn.
Yeah, I'm guessing we don't want to drive him into
Into a what?
Corner.
a corner.
He'll get out of any corner.
Yeah, and I don't think we want to drive him into the corner for fear of, what might happen.
Skull just kind of goes, I don't want to fight another dragon.
I don't want to fight my best friend.
Camilla goes, yeah, no cornered beasts fight ever harder. It's just looking at you all right now. It's like, you're talking about my brother.
Yes, I'm talking about my brother.
It's like, you realize you start pulling this shit, I'll probably turn around and kill you all.
I don't want to attack him, but we have to be able to defend ourselves. If he attacks us. I don't think he'd hurt me, but I don't want to hurt him. I do not wish to bring harm to him either. It's just a precaution, says Fionn.
He holds up his hands. He's like, I get it. I don't think he's the type to try to hurt people he knows that are coming with good intentions.
Hmm.
Aya, meanwhile, is just kind of looking at the party, just kind of hanging back, stoic.
Well, either which way, it's not much we can discuss until we find out exactly where he is and what the situation is around him.
I know where he is.
It's around this
getting
point
there.
that you see Aver just kind of like outside, just like right outside the little bubble you made. He's like kind of quietly like holding up a hand.
I think someone wants to say hi.
Jack just kind of looks up at him, looks down, crosses her arms, and just kind of pulls herself closer to herself. Fionn looks over her shoulder at Aver and gestures in. The barrier's not solid.
He kind of slips in, like feeling awkward as all the eyes are on him. He's like, hello, Dak. Shit, I don't remember Fionn's original name. Aurel? He's like, Dak... Aurel? He's like looking at you, he's like, is that you? He like looks back up, it's Kato, Larkson, Rowan. People I don't know.
She shakes her head. Fionn Eliswa, a pleasure to meet you.
Hands the hand out, like shakes yours. Like, pleasure to meet you as well. He looks over, he goes, right, I didn't mean to interrupt your conversation. I wanted to come by and say thank you to Dequest and say that we're functioning better now, but I need to be honest with you. After a reevaluation of our group and our capabilities, I came to a conclusion that I would like all your advice with.
Okay.
We're thinking of going after Captain Madison and taking his body. My group feels that they're prepared for this, but I think we're still very green and unprepared. And I was thinking that we need more people to help us, or that we shouldn't make the attempt and go elsewhere. Do you know anybody who could serve as a mentor to us while we do this? Or potentially somewhere we can go to strengthen before we're truly ready? I'm worried with Edda still not being able to cast a healing spell at range that there might be an issue if there's any separation.
all of it there. You're looking for healing. Wouldn't Gridania be the best place to train?
Camilla raises an eyebrow. Force company, right? I mean, I was eyeing Madison already, and if needs be, I can heal in a pinch, but I've got a job already, she says, gesturing to the others. Azir just raises an eyebrow at her. He's like, do you?
Thank you.
Dak, if you would be so kind.
Yeah. I didn't know if you wanted me to or not. You wanted me long, didn't you?
Azir looks at, I want you to keep an eye on you. Dak, would you like Camilla to come along, or should we pawn her off?
She's kind of looking at Camilla.
He looks around, he's like, we could always put this to a party vote.
I'd like that. Waiting to see what Camilla says. Camilla crosses her arms and frowns. Jeez, voicing me off so quickly after I pointed out who to watch out for. I feel like chopped liver here.
Azir just very calmly looks at her and kind of like leans forward, just so it's just her that can hear as he whispers into her ear. And you would have to have watched out for her if you didn't fuck her.
Camilla shifts uncomfortably in her seat.
Excuse me. Actually, Camilla, roll a will save on top of that. Azir clutches the back of Camilla's head and kind of twists so that he's whispering in her ear from behind, and she's forced to do it, and his hand is literally being is strong enough in the moment that it's acting as a hold person. Camilla can't move. And he starts whispering to her again. He's like, "You're also forgetting. We don't trust you right now. You're forgetting that you originally came to the said party for bounty. How do we know that we're not leading you right to where we need to go? And how do I know that you don't plan on selling him out immediately after? Think before you open your mouth, Camilla." He lets go.
Camilla immediately pulls away and rubs the back of her neck.
Now, just to clarify this, he was not grabbing the back of the neck, he grabbed the entire skull. So basically her ears were between his fingers.
He didn't kitten hold you. I am concerned that Camilla's melee style, coupled with her rich, aetheric flow, may make her easy pickings for Arthas, says Fionn. Oh, I had forgotten to mention that, Fionn. Thank you. He can feed off people's aether.
Is there something can't?
Don't mention it, fiance, sipping your tea. I vote for exclusion. Kato or Yedrin?
I don't really know her that much, and Azir doesn't seem to be too fond of her. Kick her out.
Azir just goes, I'm not particularly fond of many people.
Hmm.
It's nothing particularly personal. I think she could be a very pleasant woman in any other situation. It's just there's a lot of compounding factors right now.
Yeah, we should probably not let her go in there.
Well,
And okay, I'll abstain from the votes, mostly because it seems to be decided, and partially because you all seem to be more forced in the situation and the people involved. Although I will note, just for their sake, that Madison is a 10-year-old bounty, and that even if there are warnings that he is not really a threat anymore, that's still 10 years of tricks and resources he will have.
I'm sorry, Camilla. Vladimir, I would suggest not taking the bounty. Maybe go and do a few smaller jobs first. Make sure that her healing is steady. Camilla sighs. That's a majority vote then. Pushing her seat back from the table and rises to her feet, she shakes her head to Deck. No, it's fine. Javier, was it? I guess I'm with you.
Javier just kind of like nods a little bit and kind of looks at that and says, I'll let him know. Thank you, and we'd be very grateful for anything you can teach us, Miss Camilla. At that point, Azir just kind of like tugs one of Camilla's ears. Not heavily, just kind of like gives it a little pull to get her attention.
She looks out of the corner of her eye to Azir after bowing to Avir. Yes?
Holds out like a folded up, looks like a folded up handkerchief to her.
She blinks and reaches out for it tentatively.
Then unfurls, and it's a link pearl, and then there's like a little, like, looks like a coin on it, but it's half bronze and half platinum. And he just says, keep in touch.
Yeah. She accepts it and tucks the pearl in her ear before going off to chat with Avir's crew about their tactics.
At that point, Azir just kind of like, I expect you to come back.
She nods after him before leaving the barrier, no longer privy to their conversations.
Azir shakes his head a little bit. Then sticks his head out. He's like, I wanted to take you to for real, you idiot. Then puts right back inside of the barrier.
hopefully they don't end up jumping off the deep end.
Oh, hopefully they'll be fine.
From what I've seen, she's got a good head on her shoulders. They might all die, but at least she'll live.
Mm.
So back to our plan.
My plan is to talk to Ark and hope that he'll come with us.
Alright, so when do we set out?
Sorry, waiting on Fiona.
Azer just kind of looks around and he's like, I think I've done more than enough at this point. I'll follow whatever leads you all set. But I don't think I'll be helping you fight at all for this army.
That's fine. Like I said, I hope it doesn't come to it, and I sincerely do hope it does not come to it.
Should we have a plan just in case it does?
We were just talking about it.
Yeah, there's not much to plan for at this stage because we know the general area he's in, it seems, but we're not sure the exact situation at all in that area.
That's not very encouraging, Fiona says with a sip of her tea. Perhaps it's best we parted ways with her then. If this Jormal is as much of a problem as Camilla says, though, time may be against us. We'd better hurry.
Azer folds his arms and he goes, are you more worried about her than him? Because I can take care of that problem right now.
She sets her teacup down. How do you wish to take care of it?
However you tell me to do it.
Dag has gone back to taking sips out of her flask. Don't kill them, at least. I know not of the others with them, but our bird at least seemed kind enough as a person, says Fiona.
See Azer's eyes kind of narrow a little bit, and he cocks his head looking at you confused. I think you misunderstand what I was getting at.
Or you have to go do so again?
He
No,
looks at
he
Corpse.
meant
What
it.
did you say?
So would you have Camilla seduce her again?
From Camilla's own admission, she enjoys both sexes.
Oh, explain what you'd like to do then, says Fiona.
Keep them busy, keep them occupied. Give you time to go do what you need to do. Stay here. They don't know where they're going. You do. And if one of their party happens to be unable to leave,
That's a sound idea. Alright then, I suppose we will speak with you after the fact. Be well, both of you, Theon says, standing up. Yeah, I think it's best that we go now.
You all have fun. I have drinking to do before this.
I'm sorry, Aether.
Won't be the first time. Probably won't be the last.
He tugs at Aether's sleeve urgently.
He looks at her.
She looks up at him, ears pinned. You don't have to.
I don't have to. I don't want to. But sometimes we do things that hurt us because we love other people.
Perhaps you could just sit and talk with him and just distract him that way. I don't know. She hangs her head, or Ida hangs her head. I'll dance.
Hazel shakes his head. If I can avoid it, we won't be doing anything salacious. A lot of leading on. A lot of pretty words and faint promises, but nothing requiring a bedroom.
Okay. Ian nods and wraps her arms around Azir's own protectively, a relieved smile on her face. Jack gets up and just stretches. Okay. I'm ready to go.
As I leave before I change my mind. And that point, he just kind of like leans his head against his and just like sits there very quietly.
Yeah, skitters out.
Pigeon's gonna follow because not much to say.
Yeah, I'll go with.
Bless you.
Thunder.
Skull, meanwhile, gets up,
Thank you.
very quietly stretches his legs out, looks around at Azir, looks at Camilla, and then watches, like, leads Fionn and Rowan out. As we walk out, he says, "So much for our help."
At least we have intel and interference, knows Fionn. It's better than ending up fighting over Ark and causing him undue distress.
Agreed. Let's just hope no fighting is involved.
Nods firmly, as do I.
At that point, he leans his head over and goes, "Because from the way the claw made it sound, I don't know if even a blood sacrifice would make me strong enough to deal with it."
I wouldn't use that except in emergencies anyway, Fionn says, leaning her head on Skull's shoulder. I promise.
He wraps his arm around her. He says, I think that'd be one situation where I would allow it. But I would probably say, Agitar might be better at protecting you in that moment. At that point, he snickers. He says, let's just hope our little, let's just hope our little leader can work that magic that she does. Yes, Yezrin, you can do that.
Fionn nods. Ark has come with her before.
Do you want the under-over on that, Yedrin? Dude, just say it out loud.
Might as well. I was trying to be a little bit quiet about it, but like, okay, yeah, might as well.
You take a look and you see... You see a range that you can't believe. You see the range going to negative infinite and then all the way to infinite.
Wait, who are you looking at?
Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, who are you looking at? Shit, who are you looking at?
You see the current value at about 300,000 now. With a little tilde, so estimated. Regardless, we will call it here. For everybody in here, if you are available tomorrow, well, not tomorrow. Actually, yeah, if anybody's available tomorrow at some point and wants to do a very brief session, do some combat, we can do that.